Hello everybody. Thanks for watching. Today I'm gonna actually try and do a little bit of cheating for my garden. Recently I went and bought some bare root strawberries, and ideally you'd plant those in the fall, at least the variety I've got, but I'm gonna try to get them started a little bit early so that hopefully we'll get some strawberries this year, because my daughter really loves strawberries. Good morning, guys. Good morning, chickens. Good morning, ladies. Everybody's kind of dust bathing. A lot of them are dust bathing. What's up, Mr. T? Well, hello, are you taking a bath? Guys, I don't have food for you. You let me pet you? Nope. Well, that was a bit dramatic. Man, today is one of those days that it feels like spring, but it's really not spring. Now, our last expected frost date is usually about mid-April where we're at, but man, right now it just feels so good outside. Man, I can't wait for spring. But really and truly, there were two things I was really hoping to get done. One is obviously getting the bare roots planted, and I'm gonna put them in a pot for now and transplant them, which isn't ideal, but again, that's part of why I say I'm going to try to cheat a little and see, hopefully I don't stun them. But then the second thing is I don't know exactly where I'm ultimately going to plant them. Where I really want to plant them out of convenience, I just don't think it's going to get enough sunlight. I think it'll only ever get about 6-ish, maybe 7 in the peak of the summer. So I'm a little bit torn on that. I was going to actually try to mulch that area. I've got a couple of different spots in mind. I'm just going to think about it while I'm working on getting these things planted. Unfortunately, I never really pulled out last year's stuff, so I'm gonna have to do that first. So I'm going to take a few minutes and empty out these pots. I think I'm going to take all the old growth and stick it in my compost bin that I brought from the other place. Then we'll get started on replanting these. One thing to note, I found that when potting soil does this, that it has almost no organic value left. So you really need to add some kind of fertilizer or something, usually to help revive that. It's not wasted. It's just, if you plant something directly in something like this, you're probably not going to get very much out of it. Now, the biggest issue that I've ever had with old potting soil like this is that it doesn't like to retain any moisture. I've put quite a bit of water on this, and you can tell that, you know, there's still a lot of dry, and most of the water just runs out of the bottom. So one thing that you can do is just continue to work it and help it regain that ability to hold some moisture, and then mix in good potting soil with it. It's not, like I said, it's not total waste, but if you don't have a whole lot of extra, there are ways to revive it. As for the strawberries, I've never planted strawberries before, so we're going to see how this goes. But I'm going to follow some things that I've been reading and studying online, including some of the directions that they provide with it. This is supposed to have 10 bare roots. Now, I do know that if you were going to actually container garden strawberries, which you can do, that the way you would go about planting these and the way what type of soil and stuff you'd use is different. I didn't really read a ton on that. I just want to make sure that if anybody is watching our little experiment here, that if we were going to plant to leave these in, you'd want to do a little bit of research on how to actually properly plant them to maintain and keep them in a container. All right, let's see how these look in here. So, as you might expect, not great. Doesn't look like they're all dead, but they definitely don't look healthy. So we're gonna see what we can do. All right, I'm gonna take these over to the side and try to rinse some of the soil out so I can get the roots pulled apart, and then I'll come back and we'll see what we got. All right, so once I got them kind of rinsed and pulled apart, they don't look too bad. I don't really see any mold or anything. So what you're looking for is at the top here. You can see that this is one plant, and what you're looking for is what's called the crown, and that is right where all the roots meet, and you don't want to bury above that because that's where your plant growth actually starts. So this will be one. Let's see how many more we can find in here. There's our third one, but I'm not sure if that's still alive or not. We'll plant it and see. All right, so I actually ended up finding 11 plants in this. A couple of them, I don't know that they're gonna do much. They're barely more than just a couple of roots. And then there's some like this that look like they have just a touch of mold starting on it. Can't tell if that's just some sort of mold or not, but we're gonna plant a few of these and just see how they go. All right, I got them all transplanted finally. Some of them are, planted 2 or 3 in a pot. Like there's at least 2 in this pot, and I think I put 3 in the big pot. I think 3 in that pot, but anyways, I've got them all planted. I decided to keep the ones that had a little mold on them separate just in case they don't do well. And then I've set them inside of my garage underneath this fluorescent light. Ideally that'd be a little brighter, but I think it'll be fine for this. And my garage usually stays a comfortable, around 50 degrees this time of year, so we'll see how they do. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and water them because you really should, water pretty well right after transplanting. Anytime you transplant something, you want to make sure that it has plenty of water. And then when you're doing stuff in pots, you want to make sure that that soil stays nice and moist because it'll dry out faster in a pot than it will in the ground most of the time. All right, well, I'm pretty excited. This feels like the beginning of spring. I know it's not. We still got like a month and a half before it's really spring here, but this feels like the start of that, so I'm excited. I've got a mess to clean up, and I still have to go figure out where I'm going to ultimately plant these things, and then get that area prepped and ready to go. But that'll probably be in another video, and I'll also be here in the next probably week or two. I'll be doing our seed starts for the rest of the garden. Anyways, I gotta get back to it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.